So just a couple of hours ago, we got the developer live stream regarding the last 3 lead specs coming with the Visions of Eternity expansion. And in this video, I want to cover the Amalgam. It looks amazing, very flexible, really fun to play. And I want to cover all the traits, all the profession mechanics, all the skills in this video and do it in a really concise fashion, while also, of course, explaining and giving you my take on the meta. Links to not only the screenshots that I show here, special thanks to Shiny Meta, and of course the developer livestream, the full livestream, are in the description down below. As always, special shout out to all my supporters on YouTube, Twitch and Patreon that help me keep the lights on. Now without much further ado, let's start with the profession mechanic. So the Amalgam is very interesting because it has still tool belt skills, not like Mechanist for example, but you will replace them by the Amalgam skills. They will be always like this. So you can see here, you have always, the F1 will always be associated with your healing skill. If you don't use the profession healing skill, but a normal like medkit or the AED, you will get the normal F1 heal skill. That's the same. But the F2 to F4 will be exchangeable out of a pool of 7 different skills. I will cover them now, but we will also get access to the always existing F5 skill. And the F5 skill will just give you 10% more attributes for a short duration. You can see it here for 8 seconds. But it will also give you the morph skills, specific attacks. So those skills here, the F2 to F4 are morph skills. And depending on which kind of selection you have, the F5 will give you specific additional effects. And those are quite strong. So let's cover the first attacks. So you have really nice offensive skills that are like, for example, Obliterate does some nice damage. There's a really cool animation and will break the barrier. Really cool interaction. It will just completely remove the barrier from a foe. Really, really strong potentially in some PvE encounters and really strong in PvP if you have, for example, a really tanky Scourge and remove all barrier. Really cool interaction and has a long charge. So easy to dodge to some extent, but if it hits, really good damage. And you can see here the strain. This is now applied to the evolved F5 here. And that means that when you press your evolve, it gives you some more might and more power and condition damage for 8 seconds. Really good, really cool, offensive, makes sense. Then you have Shred, just a really nice skill that does some damage. If multiple attacks of those discs here hit, they will also immobilize the target. The strain effect will be super speed and quickness. So really nice, only for you, but still really cool offensive skill, makes sense. Then Demolish, another offensive skill, will give some heavy attack that is first a whirl finisher and then some kind of smash that is a blast finisher. And if you get the evolve effect from the F5, you will get 20% healing conversion, really, really strong. And you get 8 seconds in PvE of 5 stacks of visibility, so really, really strong and makes a lot of sense, your bruisery offensive attack with this. Don't forget, the evolve skill will not inherit one of those, it will inherit all of them. So if you use all of those offensive skills that I just mentioned, you will get power and might amplification, you get super speed quickness and the berserker strain as well as stability, all by pressing F5. So really, really strong. You can mix and match whatever you want depending on the situation. Really cool. And of course, you have also some trade interactions that changed it quite a bit. Let's now go to the defensive ones. You have the defensive protocol protect. Yeah, makes sense. Just block for 1.5 seconds. And if you use the evolve skill, you get some nice barrier and resistance. Really, really long lasting resistance in PvE. Really interesting defensive protocol. Looks really cool as well. Makes sense. Then cleanse. Yeah, of course, you cleanse conditions. That's really cool. Damaging conditions will be converted into barrier and non-damaging conditions will be converted into protection. You get a really nice coverage here. And it makes a lot of sense because if you convert non-damaging conditions into protection, you will be also, so to say, protected from power damage. It's really, really cool. Cool interaction. And then if you use the replicating strain, you get, of course, alacrity and it's a stun break. Yeah, so your F5 will be a stun break. It's really, really cool, really fun. And also alacrity, which is only for yourself, but really cool. Then you have defensive protocol thorns. That's like old retaliation with an interval. So whenever you get struck, you deal some damage back. It has some range to it. So you can't damage enemies that are 1500 range away, but still some damage reflect, even though with an interval. Really cool interaction. Some nice damage as well. And it will be also a stun break in the evolve. And it will also here give you some kind of additional hit effect if you use that. So something like one wolf pack. And then the last offensive protocol is pierce. It is a very interesting attack that does some heavy damage, is very long charge up time, really easy to dodge, but it will stun for 2 seconds and it's unblockable. So you can actually get some unblockable CC, really, really potent and really strong probably in competitive modes. And then the volatile strain is obviously a stun around you, really, really strong as well, just really offensive and yeah, makes sense. That's the whole profession mechanic. Before I now cover the utility skills, which are also really, really strong, I want to mention here, if you want to see all the other elite specs covered and all the news about the new expansion, be sure to subscribe. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. But now let's talk about the utility skills. So the utility skills are also somewhat straightforward. They are stance skills and they all have a really nice effect just straight up. I think they are all really cool and they all interact somewhat with the mold of the mercury or whatever you have there with the slime. Makes a lot of sense, looks really cool. So the healing skill is really, really strong because it heals you for 5 seconds very rapidly for 7.6k without healing power, really, really potent. And if you have barrier, it will also increase the healing by 20%. But it is not an instant heal, but it's a rapid heal over time. So if you get this healing skills through, but then you die within 1 millisecond after that, you got no healing out of that. So a little bit like high risk, high reward. And then you have symbiotic shielding as the F1 skill for this healing skill, which gives you instant cast, barrier and magnetic aura. Really potent in competitive modes, I would say. So really, really strong healing skill just because of that. You see, this is a full bruiser spec, will probably be absolutely broken in PvP. And really fun to play, I would say, even in PvE, because it has crazy damage numbers there as well. Solid state is really cool because it will just give you some stability and you get some outgoing stun duration increase and you do some kind of leap that is a blast finisher that does some heavy stun when you land and does some damage. Really cool attack, probably more like PvE focused, but I think you can, if you want to play really aggressive in competitive mode, still play it. Don't forget, this is all stance skills, so you can actually run the cool relics that interact with stances. And we also have really cool traits coming up with the stances. Liquid state is just an evade. It's like, if you played League of Legends, it's like Vladimir there. You evade with the pool and do some poison and cripple around you. Really, really strong. You can move with this and yeah, in evade, probably more in competitive modes, but really, really potent. Then you have gaseous state, just a stun break that also removes conditions that are movement impairing you and prevents their reapplication, so really nice as well for a bit. And really cool is that also that you get really unique thing, plus 100% incoming fumble percentage. That means that when an enemy hits you, they will have only glancing blows. They can't crit you, it will be, so to say, negative crits on you for 5 seconds. So it's a really defensive skill, really, really strong, probably a must run in competitive modes. And then you have plasmatic state. Just a very offensive skill that does a lot of damage and gives you even a damage multiplier for power and condition damage. Probably a must run in PvE if you play some kind of DPS build. You can see it's very flexible. Power and condi can be played here. Even some kind of hybrid build might be possible. Really, really strong. And the last one is really cool. It's the elite. It's just a pull, and after that you does some nice bleeding and power damage. Really cool animation and does some heavy fast hitting attacks which scale really well, for example, with your successful hits here with the rapacious strain, so that you can actually get some really multi-hits out that all amplify your damage even further. So really, really cool interaction, really fun skill, probably quite useful in all game modes. So you can see the stance skills, not too like special, but really, really strong. And now let's get to the traits, and I can tell you the traits look amazing. So first, of course, we get the normal explanation here. Then we get Hybrid Vigor, which doesn't give you Vigor, but it gives you Vitality and Barrier when you use a Morph skill. So you get actually quite a lot of Barrier, which obviously helps all your skills. And your defense, of course, and Vitality helps, of course, as well. And using a Morph skill here with Willing Host increases your damage for duration. Really, really strong. So you want to spread out your Morph skills for a bit and get 15% power damage and condi damage increase for 10 seconds. If you spread out the morph skills, you actually can upkeep that probably permanently. Really, really strong damage multiplier. Really, really nice. And let's cover the equipable traits. So stainless steel means just convert conditions to wounds when you use a stance skill or evolve. So you get a lot of conversions of conditions. So really bruisery playstyle if you face a lot of condi pressure. Really, really strong thing to actually cleanse all the time. Even evolve gives 2 condi cleanses, really potent. If you, however, face a power foe, you can use protection uptime on yourself, really, really strong as well. So you can switch here between condi or power, whatever you face. Probably in PvE, you would probably take the middle trade. The cool part is you can select either of those because none of them is damage. So you can change whatever you want. In this one here gives a lot of healing and some healing on evolve. That's really cool. While you have barrier, you get a lot of passive healing. That doesn't sound like much, but it's on top of regeneration and all the good stuff that you could have. So I would say that's a really cool trade in general in all game modes and probably really, really strong in a bruiser build. And then you have the more aggressive traits. So this one here just increases your poison duration and your Amalgam skills, all of them. So utility skills, healing skills, everything that is from Amalgam. So the morph skills will inflict poison on hit. And poison obviously lasts longer, so they're more potent therefore. Then disabling an enemy reduces the cooldown of evolve. That's really strong. It's really, really strong. So you have a lot of CC skills potentially in the kit. And on a quarter-second cooldown, you can reduce the recharge time of evolve. So really, really strong to spam that more often. Really cool interaction. And then you have silver lining. That's a very, very unique trait. Evolve no longer inherits bonuses from strains. So that means that your evolve will only give you the 10% attribute increase. But all the morph skills, so your F skills, other than the F5, will actually use their strain bonuses directly, but at a reduced duration. So you can spam them more often and can spam them uniquely. So you can say, okay, I only want the stun break now, I only want the barrier now. So you can make them more actively and spread them out a bit more. So that makes a lot of sense, probably in competitive mode, a must-take trade. Then we have symbiotic synergy. Evolve recharges morph skills. So again, you want to use your morph skills first, then use your evolve to recharge all your morph skills. And all morph skills deal increased damage. Yeah, really strong, really bursty, and really crazy good as a power build. You will probably run it in PvE. Really strong. Then you have double helix here. Evolve has 2 charges and grants an increased attribute bonus. So you now get 15% attribute bonus. Okay, nice. And you can use it twice. So you can, for example, get multiple good stuff from all the morph skills that you would use this training of. So interesting, really cool idea. And then the best trait here probably is Contagious Mutation. Strain enhancement effects are shared to nearby allies when activated with a reduced duration. So just like stun sharing on Soul Beast, you now can share your strain effects. So when you press your evolve, you will give your sharing effects to allies. So for example, you can share your alacrity, you can share your barrier, you can share your nice just general condi cleanses and stuff what you can get from your morph skills. And all of those will be shared if you press the evolve button at once. If you, however, choose the silver lining trait, it will still share the straining bonuses, but they will be shared when you press your morph skills. So you can again interact those 2 traits with each other, and you have a really cool interesting synergy to not use all the skills at the same time when you press evolve, but rather have them split up so that you can get, for example, barrier first and use the stun break whenever, or get the alacrity after that. So really, really cool traits. I think that is really nice how they made this whole spec focused around those morph skills and look really fun to play. A lot of flexibility in all game modes actually. Playstyles, different builds. I can't wait to try it out in the beta. Hope you find this video helpful. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know your takes in the comments down below. Thanks again to all my supporters, and thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all in the next video.